Okay, so we are going to have what I hope to be the world's fastest meeting. One is we've been having this discussion about the cruelty to companion animals and the challenges with that ordinance. Not the spirit of it. I think everybody here loves the spirit of it.
Right.
The challenge was the enforceability of it with the time and the temperatures and that sort of thing. So what the police were suggesting was that we remove the time periods and the temperature. The time period specifically because that was not enforceable. And if there's dog barking, that's covered under a different ordinance. So a dog being tethered outside wouldn't necessarily be a problem. And then the weather didn't necessarily need to be in there because that would be covered under the dog warden and their policies. Okay. So we have some choices. We can leave it as it is, which is, flawed, but all the ordinances, I've not found a single ordinance in a community that is enforceable and good. Or we can remove those items, but then it doesn't look as dog friendly. Right. So I kind of wanted to see what your thoughts were. Or we could just kind of hold on to it and keep playing around with it.
Yeah.
Specifically on let's see, D1 is the times on the ordinance. Oops. And then E is the temperature. More specifically, it's AD1 is for more than 8 hours in a 24-hour period and between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m.
Right.
Those were the ones that were not enforceable.
I'm definitely fine taking out the weather.
Yeah, I think I'm fine removing them from the ordinance.
Both the time and the weather?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think my worry about leaving them in is there's other parts of the ordinance that are enforceable, but I don't want there to ever be any confusion that, oh, well, we can't do anything about dogs because
the whole thing.
The whole thing is broke.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's not. And though I completely understand and respect the desire for these things, I don't want there to be hang-ups on the things that we can actually affect.
Right.
And I worry a little bit about that happening. So that's why I would say remove.
Okay. Is that your thought as well, Alexis?
Yes.
There we go. That's hard to say.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. All right. And then removing the weather. So I will pass that on to Tim to make those changes, and then we'll bring it to the committee or to council to vote on.
Do you think there's any reason why we should or should not add in the stuff that's covered by the warden or the other, I guess, probably noise ordinance for the barking? The warden might not be a thing, but it might not hurt to have double coverage for the noise of the barking.
Is there a way, I wonder if we could reference it in,
Maybe that's
that'd
it,
be
just
easy.
reference in
Yeah.
reference
both issues.
Incorporated by reference.
Yeah.
We could just.
I can ask Tim about how can we reference, let me put it right here. Reference the barking dog. which I just had pulled up. Oh, there it is. .50509, no person shall keep or harbor any dog. Frequent and habitual barking, howling, or yelping creates unreasonably loud and disturbing noise. So that's 50509, so maybe reference that.
Yeah.
Copy.
Be perfectly honest with you, that one sounds ambiguous to me as well, but
It is, that does feel pretty subjective.
yeah.
If my dog's out for 10 minutes and barking, that's still barking, but,
Right.
but if I bring him in and then an hour later he goes out and barks again,
Is he still barking?
is he still barking?
Right.
Right. Yeah, frequent and
And-
habitual,
Habitually
Right.
to remain, be lodged.
yeah.
It might be better to keep subjective though. I don't know. Like,
And dog warden. Okay. Sounds good. I will talk to Tim about that. And then the other one, this is so easy. So when we did the 16, when we switched the 16-hour parking to 72, Chief Kramer noticed that that was connected to then the impounding of vehicles ordinance, which actually was at 48 hours, which
Didn't make sense either.
didn't make sense either. So, so we just need to change that to 72. So that's the 30308A2, 6th line down. So it says 48 consecutive hours. So to change that to 72.
That makes sense.
Is that cool with both of you?
yes.
Yeah, just a question about that, or clarity on that, because I think I've heard it, and we've probably heard it. When we're saying 72 hours, that means that from the time of somebody calling and complaining and they mark the car or reference the car's position, then it's 72 hours
Correct.
until, does somebody need to wait 72 hours before they call and complain about a stagnant car? In which case, a car the earliest a car could be removed and impounded would be 6
100.
days after
Right, right.
being in one space, which, I mean, I'm also in the mind that it's a public street and you can park your car, so, but I have a feeling we'll hear
Yeah, my understanding.
comments on that.
Yeah, my understanding is this is really for vehicles that are abandoned and not, I went on vacation and parked
Okay,
on my street. So I think that 6 days is reasonable. I mean, I think we all can be annoyed when someone parks in front of our house.
right,
And, that's sort of, to be neighborly, we try not to do that, but sometimes it happens, and that's kind of living in a community. I mean, I think somebody could call the police after, 10 hours.
right.
And then that would shorten it. The cop wouldn't know how long. The officer
Right, they
wouldn't
could
know.
say it had been there for 3 days or
Yeah.
whatever, right. Okay,
So,
I'm still okay with it, I just wanted to bring up that
yeah. That, yeah.
In
the math-
reality, it
the
could
math
be
does
It
make
could
it
be
6
longer.
days. Yeah, talking about an abandoned car,
Yeah.
that's gonna be there for 6 days, so,
Yeah.
yeah, okay,
Does that sound good?
Yes.
yes
All
it
right.
is.
So those are two. We don't have anyone who wants to speak to us, which makes me sad, but whatever. And, awesome. We are concluded.
All right.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.